Welcome back to Strength Coach Tutorials, and in today's tutorial we're going to work our way through the Ultimate Team Calendar. This is going to be a series of videos to create this team calendar that has a couple of unique features. Let me show you. The first one being that you can enter the first date in the calendar and every date will automatically update. Number two, you're going to be able to select different sessions from a drop-down menu and then assign them RPEs and times. And the values are automatically going to update to track total workload throughout the days, and everything will color code based on scales that are predefined. Number three, you're going to be able to calculate weekly workloads and monthly workloads so that you can take a look at your loading patterns and make sure that all of your sessions are on track. If this sounds interesting to you, stick around because I'm going to show you how to make it. Let's get after it. Okay, so here we go. We're going to start with making our calendar template. In today's video, I'm going to take you through everything up to creating the template so that you can have all the dates and start to program everything off of the calendar. I will say, if you're interested in just purchasing this calendar template, this Ultimate Team Calendar, I'm going to make it for sale on my website, DSMStrength.com, and then any purchases of the calendar will help support the videos. But if you stick around for the whole series, I will show you how to make the whole thing from scratch. So let's get after it. So the first thing we need to do is start to shape our calendar. So what you'll notice is whenever I'm kind of creating something, I like uniform sort of sizes in all of my cells. So if I remember correctly from the template that I created, what I'm going to need is 3 boxes that are going to be 70 pixels wide. So I just highlight the 3 columns and then I'm going to drag these out to 70 and it's going to actually create a 70 pixel wide column for each of the ones that I've highlighted. And then I have the RPE and the time, and each of those are 30 pixels wide. So if I take these 2 cells and then I create 30 pixels down to 30, what we'll have is the shape that we're going to use to create our weeks and our days. And then the next thing that we want to do is create the title box. But before we do that, we're going to need to put in 7 days. So in my template, the first column is always going to be where our sessions go. And then the next column, I'm just going to highlight this so that I can tell kind of where it is. That's going to be the size of a day. So that's going to be the Monday. And then if I control copy this, I can right click and paste the column widths. And then that's going to make the next day the automatically the same size. So that's going to be Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So that gives me the complete length that my template is going to be. And now if I exit that, I know that my column box is actually 4 rows long. So I'm going to create that right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take 4 rows and I'm going to go all the way across and I'm going to merge those. So I'm going to use a function up here called merge and center. And that's going to be the box where my title sits. And then I know that I have another box underneath that of 3 rows that is going to be where my date sits. So I'm going to merge and center that. And I'm going to put a little box on that. So that's going to be where the date sits. Then from there, I can start actually building out my template. So I know that I have one box here that's for the sessions. And then right across is where it will say Monday. And I'm actually going to merge and center those. And then I'm going to copy those all the way across for each of my days. And it's going to line up perfectly at the end. So I'm just going to put in my days now. And then the way that my template's set up is in the first one, I like to put the word sessions. I'm going to center that so that it looks nicer. And then underneath there I have where it'll say week 1. And I'm going to center that so it looks nicer. And I'm going to block that off as a box because that's the way that I always do it. And then I'll merge and center these. This is going to be actually where the date sits, and that's going to have a formula. So I'm just going to color that yellow to remind me that I'm going to put a formula in there. And then after that, this first one says RPE, and the next one says time. And that's going to really make the outline of all of the boxes for my actual calendar here. So if I just copy these across, it's going to give me the opportunity to create all of my days. And then I go 9 columns down, or 9 rows down. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm going to block that off so that I remember that that's one block. And then this is all one block. And then those will be both together. So that's really the shape of my weeks. And then I can copy these across. And you can see it's just this easy really to have a calendar now start to take place. So this is my week 1. And then at the bottom here, I'll have a formula for total workload. And all of these are going to have functions that go within them. So I'm going to merge all of these cells together. And actually an easy way to do that is once one's merged, if I just drag that down, it should merge all of them. I'm going to block that off and put the words total workload in there. Square brackets for arbitrary units. And then this is going to contain a formula. So I will block that off as well. So you can see we've really have one that's starting to take shape here. And now let's start to give it a little functionality. So I'm going to make sure that these are all copied across. We can worry about the formatting in a little bit and make it look a little bit nicer. But what I really want to do to start is actually have it where we can type in the date in the first one and then all of the other dates automatically update. So to do that, what I want to do is I'm just going to type in the date here first, and then I'm going to change the format around. So if I look at the calendar, we're going to make one for April, but the first Monday in April is actually going to be March. So it's March 30th. So we'll type in 03/30/2020. And actually, I think I need to put 30/03/2020. And we'll change this to a date. So, sorry, it does want me to put 03/30/2020. So if I make this a custom format like I've done in other videos, what I can do is go to more number formats, custom, and I actually want it to show the day. So maybe I'm going to put DDD for Monday, but maybe if I wanted to say Monday all the way across, I could put 4 Ds there. And then let's go with just mon, space, and then maybe I want month. So MMM, so Monday, March, and then maybe I want it to show the actual number day. So I'll put DD, so it'll say Monday, March 30th, and I'll hit OK. So I like the way that looks. It gives me exactly what I'm looking for. And I'm going to actually copy that across. And when I copy this across, you're going to see that it actually copies the formatting too. And that's the reason why I copied it across, because I'm actually going to use a formula to calculate the rest of the dates. So what I'm going to do here is under the Tuesday, I'm really just going to take this cell. I want it to be Monday, March 30th, but because it's Tuesday, I'm just going to add 1 to it. So if I hit +1, that's going to turn that into Tuesday. And because we've left these sort of open, it'll know when I copy and paste it that I want it to go over 3 squares and add 1. So if I do that again, copy and paste, copy and paste, copy and paste, you can see that it's actually added all the dates in there. And I'm only going to leave this one yellow because that's the one where we're typing in our formula. But if we were making a calendar for April, maybe we don't want the first date to automatically update to to March. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to put in the other weeks now. So if I control copy this, I actually don't need the whole thing. If I control copy here and then paste underneath, that'll be week 2, week 3, week 4, and I'm actually doing this down to week 5. And then I usually have a notes section down at the bottom where I can put in any notes. So I'll kind of merge those across and then type notes in there. And I'll make that in the center and make it look kind of nice. Make it a little bit bigger. So that's really the shape of our calendar now. Now from here, all it is start to add a little bit of functionality to it. So what I want to be able to do is have the dates automatically update all the way across. And all I have to do is, because all of these references were left open-ended, if I just change the first one here to go back to the previous Monday and add 7, what's going to happen is that whole week is going to update. So this Tuesday is looking at Monday, April 6th, and then Wednesday, April 8th is looking at Tuesday, April 7th, so on. So if I copy this one down a couple of times, you'll be able to see that all the formulas will automatically update. Now, to make this truly dynamic, I want it to display the month and the year up here based on the dates that we enter. And what I always do is I always take the second Monday in my calendar and use the formula there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put equals the second Monday in the calendar, which is C20, and hit enter. And you're going to see that it gives me Monday, April 6th. I'm going to give that a better font to make it bigger, maybe Arial Black. And I'll make that a little bit bigger, maybe center it a little bit. But I'm going to give that its own custom format as well. So I'll go down to more number formats, custom, and I'm going to put 4 M's for month, and then I want the year. And if I put 3 Y's, it's going to give me April 2020. So if we were to change this to another date, let's go to the first Monday in May, which will be April 27th. So if we change this to 4/27, you'll see that the whole calendar updates to May. And I'm going to make that a little bit bigger so it looks a little bit nicer. So it's truly going to be dynamic in a way that we want it. So I believe it was the 30th, and we'll put that all back. So we got April 2020. So that's pretty much how you start to frame your calendar. And then I'm just going to make it look a little bit pretty here. So what I'll do usually is give this top border a color. Let's make it, say, a dark gray. And then we'll make the font in there Arial Black. And then we'll make the color, say, white. And we'll put team name. And I'll put that in the middle, make it a lot bigger, so that when I type my team name in there, it'll look really nice. We'll keep that the way that it is. We'll make all of these dark gray so that they match. Make the fonts white there, maybe make them Arial. Maybe bold them so that everything looks a little bit nicer. And I'll make sure that they're centered in the middle of their cell. And you can see this got a little bit big, so I'm just going to shrink this font down a little bit. So that says sessions. And then for these ones, I'm going to give it a little bit bigger border. I'm going to make this kind of light gray so that it stands out a little bit. We'll go across here and we'll make these a lighter gray. This one looks nicer if it's dark. So we'll match that there. Make that Arial. Give it a white font, maybe bold it so that looks a lot nicer. I'll make these Arial. Bold them, shrink them down a little bit so they fit. Put them in the middle. That looks a lot nicer there. Arial here. Bold that out, make it a little bit bigger so that that looks nice too. I'll make this yellow so that I remember that I actually have to type my date in there. And then I'm gonna color this actual white so that it takes away the lines. And I'm gonna turn these into let's say dotted lines, so it looks a little bit nicer when I type there. And then this looks better if it's a dark color. It'll make it stand out more. Similar to how we did up there. Color white, Arial, bold that. So that starts to look a lot nicer. Put that in the middle. And then it's just about adding the right boxes around it. So I'm going to take the whole thing and I'm going to add a really thick border. More borders, make it nice and thick. And then I'm going to put a slightly less thick border on the bottom here to make that stand out a bit. And I'll do the same here. So now those stand out a lot better. And then let's take these and make these all thick borders throughout. So if I take a thick border and put it through the middles there and on the bottom, that's going to look a lot better. And then let's actually put a thick border around the actual days. And then maybe down the side here. And probably around this guy too. Yep, that stands out a lot better. And then we'll make, because this is going to be a formula later, we'll make that one thick as well. So you can see now that starts to stand out a lot better. And if I was using this as a tool, we could just type in our sessions here. So we could put lift A, practice B, or whatever we wanted there. And that gives us sort of a template to work off of. I'll delete those out of there. And I'm just going to copy this formatting across. So if I actually kind of Control C here, I can go to here and just paste the formatting. So it's just going to make sort of everything look the same. But I'm going to make that light gray. So now I'm going to take this one and paste it all the way across. So I'll select the box where I want to paste it, and I'll make it light gray, paste it, light gray. And what you're seeing is it's actually just taking the formatting that we created and it's going to put that all the way across, and that just helps everything look pretty uniform. But it kind of messed up our thick box around the side, so I'll just put that back. And then I can do the same thing down here. If I just copy the whole thing and then go to week 2, I'll paste the formatting. That didn't work properly, so I'm going to Control Z that. Because I went too far, I'm going to just copy the days, paste the formatting, makes everything look better. Then I'll make that dark gray so that it matches everything else. White font, bold, Arial. There you go. Pretty much we have our template created. Just going to change these all to the appropriate week. Week 3, week 2. From there, now it's just about adding all of the formulas, which we'll start to get into in the next videos. So like I said, if you don't want to wait for the next video and you just want to get your hands on this template right away, I'm going to make this available for sale on my website at DSMStrength.com. If this video helped you out at all, please like it and share it, and that really helps me out. Leave a comment in the bottom if you want to see anything else. And then from there, you can follow me on social media at DSMStrength. And I'll see you in part 2. Thank you.